Hey, Lance Hill again. So, chapter 15 and 16. Chapter 15 is organizations and culture. Chapter 15 is organizational change and structure. So, for chapter 15, organizational culture is the pattern of shared norms, rules, values, and beliefs that guide attitudes and behaviors. You've got clan culture, hierarchy culture, market culture, and adhocracy culture. Strong cultures, obviously, employees are most aligned with the values of the organization and less need for detailed policies and procedures. Weak cultures, core values are not embraced or shared by its employees, and core values are not defined or communicated well. Major two functions of an organizational culture. You've got external adaptation, the way the organization reacts to outside influence, and then internal integration. So this is the process of creating a shared identity by employees, adopting common language, group boundaries, and accepted distribution of power and status, norms of trust, regards, and punishment. And then, excuse me, looking at chapter 16, organizational change and structure. The change process, agile and adaptive, careful planning, hard work, cooperation, and then excellent communication. I think excellent communication is the main one for me. And then DADA, so DADA syndrome is denial, anger, depression, and acceptance. Looking at Lewins, so unfreezing, transforming, and refreezing is that process. And then forces for change can be external and internal. Always feel some resistance to change. So this one's a big one for me now. So resistance to change, my role for the company is I'm a ELS project champion. So I lead projects across North America. I'm currently sitting in a hotel in California in New Rancho, and we are here this week doing a Kaizen event, trying to increase productivity and efficiency and reduce cost or waste in the process. That's what I do across the board. Those things change. We do it for HR. We do it for SMED events, for process, for the machines, for the choreography and that kind of thing. So I get a lot of resistance to change because your operators are the ones doing the work. They're the ones that know the process. They know they're your main source of information of how it's working and what can be changed because they're the ones that do it all the time. They know it. Ways to reduce resistance for this would be education and communication. You want to educate them on other ways, other changes that could be implemented in the panels to like controls engineering, anything like that to make a good change. Communication is just being able to elaborate on what you want to get out of the event or really communicate the change. Everybody needs to be involved that knows it or does the process. So communication's key, as always. Participation. You want active participation in events that I come out and run because if you don't have participation, you don't have the buy-in, and it's not going to happen. It will not be sustainable when I leave. So participation's huge. You want them to own it. You want them to drive it. And by them owning and driving it, you are trying, at that point, you are going to make it sustainable to a percentage, right? Not everything's perfect. Negotiation. You can negotiate with people to, all right, you do this, we'll give you this. We'll do this, we'll do that. And then manipulation. I do not like this one at all. You don't want to manipulate people to do anything. If you have to manipulate them, you're not lying to them, but in a way you are. You're trying to hide the truth to get what you want. I mean, you're manipulating. You're manipulative. And really, that's about it. So that is chapter 15 and 16. Thank you.